With the first week of the 2012 session on the books in Indiana, right-to-work legislation continues taking center stage for local activists. News Channel 18's Kristen Majorano was live in downtown Lafayette, where union supporters held a press conference this afternoon. Kristen, who was out there today?
Well, Jeff, we were talking to a group of just about 30 people out here at the Tippecanoe County Courthouse. That meeting wrapped up about 2 hours ago, and it was really a mix of current union members, former union members, and just overall supporters of unions and organized labor unions here in the state and in the country. And the goal here was to raise awareness for people across the state of Indiana on some of the possible repercussions of passing a right-to-work bill in Indianapolis. And of course, they're pushing for a series of public hearings on the bill to discuss with the public some of the possibilities. They argue that right to work would push down wages and also lower working conditions. Now, many people who are here were also at the State House earlier today, where Republican legislators held an informational meeting on right to work, and several say that they fear that some of the information that they're receiving from people at the State House isn't truthful or is not exactly correct. And one of the arguments that they made to me today is against the argument that right to work will bring business to the state. They say that's not necessarily true, and they fear that even if business does come to the state, it'll be for the wrong reasons. It will be to exploit what they say, again, those lower wages as a result of right to work. Now, lawmakers have said, many Republican lawmakers have said, they're giving people the right to choose whether that they will be in a union or not, but supporters of unions here today, they argue against that argument. They say the only choice is not to pay union dues.
Do people believe in the right not to pay taxes? Should we have that right? How does government work if we don't all participate? And a union is no different. It depends on the involvement and the monetary contributions from its members.
I've talked to a lot of them, a lot of Republicans that say they don't believe in the right to work, but they're told to vote that way. And if they don't vote that way, the party won't back them and they won't be back. But there's a lot of them that don't believe in it either, but they're going to do what the party tells them to do.
This has definitely become a very contentious issue and a very party dividing issue, as right to work was one of the major causes of the Democrats' walkout last year, which of course lasted for several weeks. And at the same time, union members and supporters turned out in thousands to rally at the State House in hopes to get right to work turned away. And Democrats have remained in caucus so far this week, so that they have not been able to come and deliberate on right to work. They have not had a quorum on the House floor, so they haven't been able to vote on this. And the Democrats are saying this is something similar to a filibuster. Supporters here today say they hope that lawmakers will hold off on discussions as long as possible, so again they can inform the public on this legislation. They say even if it requires more drastic measures, they'll do what it takes.
I was impressed and inspired by their decision last year, and I would support it again.
Now, to avoid some of these possible political issues here, some of the people today were suggesting that lawmakers push this issue to a referendum. They say, why don't we let citizens vote on whether or not they want right to work? And Democratic State Representative Sheila Klinker told me earlier this week she has suggested that at the State House, but she's not sure that it will have quite the support necessary to get that put onto a ballot this